Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great millstone for giving wisdoms and the teachers of the scriptures. Peace and salutations to those for the elect, and shalom to the sincere Achim across the globe, and the few sisters, the Aquat who might be listening to this. So, I just, saw a video of the elder, the Kwan from the London camp, GMS London camp. And I noticed already a few days ago about all this, the ISUPK niggas, or ISUPK Israelites, talking about, West African Jakes are not, the West African black people are not Israelites. And I had that note. No, not precisely that note, but in some way I had a note like that in my notes. For my video subjects. You see it written, "Who are the Hebrew Israelites in 2022?" And then I went to the curses in Deuteronomy 28, not 2. And then I said, I wanted to go into the difference between Gentile in the Old Testament and the New Testament. But seeing the video of the elder, Kwan from GMS London, I thought to myself, yeah, let's go into that. Because he had a whole lot of things he talked about in his video that similar to, how he talks about how he was raised among West African Jakes, which he himself is an West Indian Jake from the islands. In the when we say the islands, we mean the Caribbean. It had many similarities to us being raised in, for me myself, Amsterdam in the Netherlands, as you might know, but also the other big cities like Rotterdam, Eindhoven, Den Haag, Utrecht, and even smaller, municipalities or towns like maybe Apeldoorn or where you have Almere or smaller towns. Man, I'll have to go into the names, but yeah, man. Many similarities, man. The music, the food, the liking for the women, the way they dress, but also in the drama, man. In the problems, and you might even add some of them, North African people into the discussion, because a whole lot of the Moroccan dudes, are here in the Netherlands are also Israelites. Some with some you see it immediately by their skin color, skin tone, or their hair, and with some you have to look a little bit further. Now, if you are an ISUPK person, follower, you really stand behind their theologies or whatever. How you call that shit? Their doctrine. Then you are in trouble, because you can never, you're probably not gonna teach that person. Let's say you meet a West African person, a so-called black guy from Ghana or Benin or Nigeria, Niger, even Senegal or Congo or even Ethiopia somewhere, man. Morocco, Mauritania, South Africa, whatever, man. Because we was, scattered all over the place. And you meet a person like that, and he's into the scriptures, but he don't know, and he's looking for answers, but he can't find them, right? Now you, as a person in the truth, knowing all, knowing the name of the Most High, knowing all that you have to do, keeping the laws and statutes and to the best of your abilities, trying to keep the Shabbat to the best you can. Now you say to yourself, no, I don't have to teach him because he's not an Israelite. Then you're keeping the truth from this person, and he might burn, when the time comes. But you could have saved him. Now you have a problem also, man. Right? Because you cannot keep the truth from spreading. This truth needs to go all over the place, man. Now the reason why Israelites are scattered all over the place, were scattered all over the place, and are still scattered all over the place in Africa is because of this. It's from the book called Babylon, From Babylon to Timbuktu. It's an old book, not an old book, but it's been coming forward a lot in GMS videos. So it's from page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. This is about the Jewish wars. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter, because the Israelites, they were revolting against the Roman, rulers. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Now that slave market part, that goes into another book. So the first book, the book I read from right now is, I'm reading it from physics, because I have it here. But I'll show you from Babylon to Timbuktu. I'll show you the cover. If you don't have it, you can look it up. There you have it. It's by Rudolf Rindsor. You see? There you have it. So when it said the slave markets were filled, the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves, then you end up in another book, that I have here, is also in physical form. And for that, I have to go get it for a second, so that you can see the cover also. Because one book leads to another, Yeah, Slavery in the Arab World by Murray Gordon. Slavery in the Arab World. What's going on here? Slavery in the Arab World by Murray Gordon. This book right here. Because that slave market was ruled by Ishmael. Ishmael had ruled it. Right. So that was after the Romans, persecuted us in Jerusalem. They messed us up basically. They did a whole lot of unlawful things. A whole lot of atrocities were committed. You can find out these things in the, how do you call it? The chronicles basically of the Jewish wars. I read from it from the introduction. It said, as many as 11 million Africans, approximately the same number estimated to have been taken from Africa's west coast into the European-controlled triangular slave trade, were forcibly removed from their families and communities to do service in Arab households, harems, and armies. Now, I went to a museum a few weeks ago, Let me see, man, because I cannot show everything in here. No, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this, man. It's lucky, man. But yeah, they were working in Harlem, and the museum I was in, they had a picture of this guy, man. Maybe I have it here still. No, I closed it already. So, but it was a painting of a Jake, an Israelite, who was standing as a bodyguard, basically protecting an harem. And some Arab rich guy had, like, some room filled with females, and that was protected by that Jake. But they cut down his genitals, so now he's a eunuch. So yeah, you are in trouble if you don't know all that stuff, and you are in trouble if you are still talking like that. Yeah, they are not Israelites, because it says in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15, and Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 is talking about the blessings of obedience and the curses of obedience. Now, verse 1 till 15 is about the blessings. So that's pretty easy, or maybe pretty hard. But verse 15 starts with, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Heavenly Father thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And then this goes on. This is all curses that will come upon us. The last one is the most, beautiful one, I think, the most defying one. And the Heavenly Father shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Verse 68. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now the word Egypt means house of bondage. And if you are in Israel and you walked over there, why would the Heavenly Father send you back into Egypt with ships? Because it's not talking about that. It's a talk about, the 10 tribes forming the Latino and the Native American tribes, sending them already into Asaret, according to Second Esdras, and then later on bringing on the so-called Negroes, the Levites, the Benjamites, and the Judites, By the way of, as we just spoke, the triangular slave trade, the North Atlantic slave trade. All right. So that's how they went there. But not all of them went in there after the Europeans, so-called Europeans, the Edomites came into the west coast of Africa and took away Africans, so-called Africans, and brought them into the Americas. Not all of them were caught. We were dwelling, as the other Raghayakwan said, we were dwelling all across Africa, multiplying, and that stayed there for 14 centuries. Imagine that, man. So, there's still Hebrew Israelites, Jacob descendants, dwelling in Africa as we speak, man. And as I was born in the Netherlands, and I came into the school system and everything, and sports and all that stuff, hanging in the hood and being young, I can say no less, man. There were Ghana people around us, and you see the resemblance, maybe in food it's different because we from Suriname, we eat a whole, not entirely different, but in some ways it's different, but in many ways it's the same. You know, the music, and after the second and the third generation, it all intermingled. And right now, you cannot even see the difference. I remember back in '92 when the West Africans came into Amsterdam. They wore their pants very high, like almost all the way to their chest. And that's the way you could recognize them, you know. And from the early '90s up till the late '90s, they were called also a certain way. You know, they will call them all kinds of names. You know, even their own people, us as being West Indians, we would call them West Africans boku, which means fish. You know, because they used to eat fish in their meals. And it was a very dumb way to call your brother something, man. You know. Oh man, I'm looking for booking, for booking. I don't know if we're gonna find it. I don't. You don't have to go into that also. But yeah, calling them names, and that's also a curse, man. According to the book of Deuteronomy, that's in the book of. I'm reading it from my own Bible, but verse 37. All right, it says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. All right, and that even goes into your own people, man. Because let's say you, as a West African, you go into what is a Jake country that's really known for being, you know, Jake and all that shit. Let's you go into Belize. Let's say you go into Uruguay, you know, Argentina. They're gonna call you names, man. But at the same time, they are your people. Many of them are, what's the tribe? Shit. Not the tribe of Ephraim. The tribe of Naphtali. Salachi for that. The tribe of Naphtali, which are the Argentinians and Chileans, mainly, they would call you all types of names. Some for out of love, but mostly out of, you know, strangeness and maybe even hate. And even them other nations, man. If me as a Suriname guy stands with a guy from Ghana at the job, when we are not there, them Edomites, them so-called white people, they call us the same. Yeah, them niggas, them two niggas, hey, them two blackies over there. Yeah, send them two blackies to do that. Send Blackie 1 and Blackie 2. That's the way how they talk about us, man. You know? Sometimes even to your face, but that's when we stand up to it, you know? Yeah, so that's basically it, man. No, that's not basically it. Let's go to Psalms 44 and 14. That's basically it. Funny. The book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. See? That's what they do, man. Especially now with that new generation and their drill and all that lifestyle they're having. You don't see the difference anymore. Even us. Me as an elder, an older Jake right now, because I'm in my 40s. Sometimes I see the dudes walking. There might be a Moroccan, a guy from West Africa, let's say Ghana, and a Suriname guy walking, or an Antillean guy. And by the way they're dressing, and the way they're walking and everything, I cannot see that, you know, that. Maybe the Moroccan stands out because of his skin color. But you see immediately that they're all three of them are Jake, man. You know? So yeah, man, that's it. That's really the truth, man. So the elder also he brought up Romans chapter 8 verse 16, because really you gotta be able to see it, and if you don't see it, there's you know, it's darkness for you, man. That's really what it is. It's darkness, and we are not children of the darkness. We are children of the light.
Romans chapter 8 verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Heavenly Father. Alright? So, yeah, the Spirit tells you, man. Even if you're not in the truth, you know.
They know when they're dwelling together amongst each other, making music together, doing all types of criminal activities together. They know from each other, man. You know that they are the same. Too much resemblance.
Yeah, man. So, if you are saying that West Africans, you know, are not Israelites, then you are lost. But that's what you get from ISUPK, man. I don't even what them letters stand for, you know. But they are, you know, General Yenas, man, and whatever, man. So with that, I'm gonna close it up. This is Shabbat, so I'm gonna say shalom.